Well, hello. This is Erica, masquerading as Heather. Today is the 16th of August, and it appears to be just me today broadcasting. I'm going to attempt this without Heather. This could be the shortest Crafty Chat video in the history of Crafty Chat video. But here I am, and I will be, I'll be hang on a second. I need to mute my YouTube. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so I'm back. And I'm going to try to do this and interact directly with the chat room folks. We'll see how this works. But so first of all, it's hard to see with the Heather Ordover bar on there, but today's shawl is my prototype for Fangirl. It's done in Dizzy Blonde, Lammy Toes, one skein in the colorway Shiny. You see the shape there. And this funny shape actually keeps it directly on the shoulders without a pin or anything. So I've worn it all day before and had it not fall off. So that's today's shawl. Hello, Tara. I see Worcester Weight in the chat room. And let's see, as far as Ravelenix updates, I have made progress on one of my Whips wrestling projects. The Stripey Cardi. I have finished the body. I did extra garter stitch at the bottom. And I am on to the button band. Very, very simple button band. I can't decide how wide I'm going to make it. And I got lazy and left the sleeves as just little cap sleeves. This is going to be for a little girl. When I first started it, I didn't know the baby's gender. Well, actually, when I first started it, I didn't know who it was for at all. I was just doing it just because. And then 2 days later, found out my friend Layla was unexpectedly pregnant. So the gender neutral colors worked out great. So that's for my Whips wrestling. I haven't really touched my other Whips wrestling projects. And my shawl sailing, however, is going very well. So far, I've got about a skein and a half of Knit Picks Stroll Tonal invested in this. I'm not going to show you too much detail too clearly on this because it is a design project, but it's getting nice and big. It's on the 60-inch needle at this point, and I'm wishing I had a 7 or 8 foot or 6 foot needle. If I run out of that yarn before I'm finished, which I might, I'm going to do a very thin edging in navy. That color was Blue Yonder. This is navy. So I think a very thin, basically the bind off in the dark blue will look nice. And yes, Tara, the blue blobby shawl. Sorry it's so blobby, but like I said, it's a design project, so I can't show you too much detail. And let's see, the big thing coming up craft-wise is the Fall Sweater Challenge, which is being put on by the Buffalo Wool Company. And I didn't write down who the other sponsor was, but sorry. Basically, the idea is knit a sweater before Rhinebeck, being October 15th. And as it says here, what constitutes a sweater, and is a cardigan, vest, or poncho acceptable? It says, what defines a sweater in terms of this challenge is completely up to the maker. It can be a flat sweater you wrap around yourself, shawl or wrap. It can be a pair of tubular sweaters for your feet. It can be for a child, adult, puppy, but no chicken or penguin sweaters, please. The whole point is to tackle a project that will make you happy. We are just hoping to encourage, support, and possibly inspire you to go a little outside your usual project range and try something new. Knitting, crocheting, weaving, felting. I think all of these qualify. So the website is fallsweaterchallenge.com. Go check it out. There will be prizes. There will be sponsors. I don't know yet exactly who else is going to be sponsoring and giving prizes, but anything run by the Buffalo Wool Company should be a lot of fun. Ron and Teresa are really great people, and their yarn is just to die for, which is partially me putting in a plug. Hey, send me free yarn to design with. But no, they're really, really terrific people, and the yarn is just insanely wonderful. The other, yes, Cricket Knits, you can bring your chicken and penguin to Rhinebeck, but I'm sorry, we're not collecting chicken and penguin sweaters for charity. And the other big thing going on over here right now is this tomorrow. I am holding up a sign that first day of 10th grade, August 17th, 2016. Yes, I subject my kid to this every year on the first day of school, and they hate it. But oh my gosh, it's so much fun to look back at the pictures every year and see them growing. And this year, I'll only have one kid to do this with. Maybe if Sarah were here, I would probably do one of her with a sign saying, first year I don't have to go to school or something. But so yes, school starts tomorrow. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. For all those of you without kids who don't understand what a big deal this is, for parents of school-age kids, this is just freeing. And yes, for the beginning of summer, we look forward to not having to set the alarm as early and not having to get the kids to school and out the door. However, this beginning of the school year is wonderful because, at least for me anyway, I'm much more productive when I have a schedule. And it just, I do better, and I'm really looking forward to it. And it is nice because my kid is at a point where I don't have to drive her to school. She walks. It's great. Abby has dropped band, so she doesn't have to be at school at 7 in the morning anymore. Wahoo! That was just really crazy when she was involved in productions at school and had school days that went from 7 in the morning to 10:30 at night. And Cricket Knit suggests that I do one of Sarah with a sign that says first day of adulthood. I think we'll probably do that the day she turns 18. Oh, but she won't even be here. Wait, yes, she will. Sorry. Getting my months confused. The other big news is Sarah comes back in less than 2 weeks. For those who may not have listened in past weeks, Sarah got a summer job 4.5 hours away up in the mountains and has been getting to practice independence in a safe environment, working full-time and doing some chores in exchange for rent and being responsible for all her own groceries and cooking and laundry and all of that. So she's loving it and is looking forward to being more independent when she gets back. But yes, Tara, in preparation, I think next Tuesday, when my friend Clarice comes over, I will have her help me get Sarah's room ready for her to come back. And because we need to get the old TV out of there and the box from the new TV and assorted other things that have been stored in her room. And Tara Worsterwaite said that that's a really long school day. It's not exactly her school day, but it's band and then the school day then a short break, and then rehearsals. And during Tech Week, those rehearsals went frequently till 10 or 10:30 at night, especially with the last production that they did, when they did the musical and personnel issues, and Abby got pulled in the day of the dress rehearsal, pulled in to do the voice of the plant in Little Shop of Horrors. So this fall they'll be doing, in fall they do a play, and in the spring they do a musical. In the fall they're going to be doing A Doll's House, a very serious play, very ambitious for a bunch of high school kids. But honestly, I think they're going to do a better job than this one production that she watched on TV yesterday. It was an amateur local group, and I was listening to it as I was working on some stuff, and it just felt painful to me. And let's see, the other thing, I told you this was going to be a quick one. The other thing going on around here to update people on is my CPAP woes. Having some big problems with leaking, and really not sure what we're going to do. I go back again next week for another appointment, trying to figure out if there's some kind of hybrid mask I can use. Basically, what happens is it's fine in the beginning when I go to bed, and then around 1 or 2 in the morning, it starts making this funny noise and wakes me up, and usually wakes Andrew up because he's got better hearing than I do. And I futz with it, and I futz with it, and I futz with it. And if I can't get it to stop making the noise, I get frustrated and just take it off and turn the machine off. Because at 2 in the morning, who wants to spend half an hour being awake, futzing around with the CPAP mask? So you guys can cross your fingers for me, or if you have any input, anybody out there on CPAP who has issues with leaking, with the full face mask. And I do need the full face because yes, I'm a very classy mouth breather at night. And the cooking thing I have is we are probably going to get an Instant Pot. So anybody out there who's got an Instant Pot, I look forward to any recipes you can forward on, or also any suggestions you have if you have tried an Instant Pot and a different pressure cooker, fast pressure cooker, and you find a different one better than Instant Pot, let me know. Or if you've had any problems with Instant Pot, let me know. It seems to be the best one out there. And yes, Cricket Knit, everybody and their sister except me got one on Prime Day. So we're probably going to wait until Black Friday / Cyber Monday to get ours. We can't get it right this minute anyway. They're pretty expensive, and we need to watch our pennies. And the other creative thing is I signed up for dye class for the fall. So I'm really looking forward to that. I haven't done dye class in a long time. For those who aren't familiar with this, my Park and Rec department has a really good dye class. They've changed the name several times, but it's basically fiber dyeing for crafters. Most of the people in the class tend to be quilters, and they dye fabric, but also we do silk scarves. I do lots of yarn and fiber. I have so much fiber that I need to blend that I have some great colors that I'm going to blend on the drum carder. But I will probably primarily be dyeing yarn and silk scarves. I want to take a bunch of silk scarves with me to treat in October. Yay, Dr. Gemma. People there seem to really like them. So I would like to take a bunch there, and it will probably inspire me to do some dyeing at home too. I do have the stuff to be able to dye. Tara says, much like the sheep we get it from, you happen to be up to your ears in fiber. You know, I really am. I forget that I am because it's well hidden in my home. But I have a very large bin of it in my garage that's marked fiber to blend. And then someplace else I have one that's just fiber to spin that I am not intending to blend with other colors. But mostly I'll be doing silk scarves, either acid dye or indigo. The indigo is definitely the most instant gratification dyeing, whereas with the silk scarves on the acid dye or the silk paints, you paint it. If you're doing the painting, you paint it, and then after it dries, you have to steam it. If you're just doing a solid color in the acid dye, you can do it in the pot, and so that's got the heat there, and that's good. I'm probably not explaining it very well, but it's a lot of fun. I end up with very messy fingers. That's how you tell if it's been a good dye day, because I don't have the dexterity with the gloves on, so I have a tendency to be really bad and not put gloves on, or not. When I'm mixing, I forget to put the mask on, so I end up with what they call rainbow snot. But it's a good class. It'll go from mid-September to early December. So I am looking forward to that. It will not conflict with recording because it's on Thursdays, just Thursdays, not Tuesday, Thursday. So on my end, that's about what I've got for this week. But I am more than open to questions from the people in the chat room. Yes, they do call it rainbow snot, Tara. It's a technical term. I learned that from my dye teacher. And actually, she's got videos out there on YouTube, and she's got a book, a quilting book. So you can look her up. Her name is Joy Lily, JOY-LILY, Joy Lily. She's really terrific. What has the returning daughter asked for as a welcome dinner? She has specifically requested real, I did the little finger quotation marks, real mac and cheese. Now, I asked her what constitutes real mac and cheese. She's had the Craft Easy Mac cups that I sent her up with, where you make it in the microwave. And so I asked her, does real mean homemade mac and cheese, or does it mean the Walmart boxed mac and cheese that she likes? As far as all the boxed mac and cheeses, that's the brand that the kids like the best. Actually, even Andrew likes it the best. And she said either one. So I did my quarterly or so pilgrimage to Walmart yesterday, and I bought a little bit of mac and cheese, but I took two boxes and set them aside in her room just for her. So that will probably be the welcome home dinner, maybe even with some hot dogs cut up inside it. And those hot dogs being good hot dogs, I use the Hebrew National because they're the only brand I've found that those and the Nathan's are the only ones I've found that I can eat because they don't have sugar in them. They don't have sugar nasties. That's what the returning daughter has asked for. Tara says she remembers having Easy Mac for the first time since she was 15 and was surprised at how gross it was. I've actually never tried it, so I wouldn't know, but she actually got a case of it as a graduation present from a teacher that she was TA for. Christmas knitting. You know, I'm not doing any Christmas knitting, or at least I'm not publicizing any. I'm not promising any. I have learned that I should not promise people anything as far as knitting goes, because I don't get around to it, and then I end up with whoever I promised it to bitter, and upset with me and disappointed. I'd rather knit them something when they're not expecting it, and then have them be all surprised and excited and happy. Over a year ago, I told Abby I would make her a blanket, and for Christmas, I gave her the pattern and the yarn. And to date, this is all I have, about 6 inches tall of this blanket. So yeah, and I haven't even started Sarah's Doctor Who. So yeah, I don't, and we won't even talk about the Scarf of Doom, and I don't even want to think about how long ago I promised that to a friend of ours. Let's just say it was before I lost weight. So it's been a while, and I have about a foot, maybe 1.5 feet of this scarf knit. I really think I'm probably just going to bind it off, wash it, block it, and frame it with a little plaque that says the Scarf of Doom or something. So it's on size 2s. I don't know what I was thinking. If I were to make the whole thing, it would be really gorgeous, and it would look really terrific on the intended recipient, because it's this beautiful dark emerald green. But it's alpaca brought over from Peru by hand, but not happening. So that's it. Is anybody in the sorry, I can't speak English. Anyone in the chat room doing the Ravelinic games? And if so, how are your projects coming? Alpaca on 2s, yes. It probably ought to have been knit on 4s or 5s. But I mean, it looks great. The stitch definition is really crisp, and it's I'd have to show you. It's knits and pearls, kind of jagged back and forth. Not always chevrons, but sort of. So Crooked Knits is unofficially doing Ravelinics. What are you unofficially knitting? Unofficially for the unofficial Ravelinics unofficially. Tara says she cast on a sweater. Tara has been cranking on socks lately, though, just churning them out. I saw a picture this morning on Instagram where she did some just ridiculous, like 4 inches in an hour or something crazy like that. Whip bin and 2 pairs of socks, and finishing a 3rd pair. Voodoo Shawl by Boo Knits. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. I only have one screen available to me today. Usually I have the iPad and the laptop, and I do chat room on the laptop and iPad for recording because it's a better picture. So I apologize for the picture quality, but Abby is frantically listening to and reading along with her last summer reading homework book on the laptop. Yes, so Tara's doing stress knitting because medical bills came in and she's stressing us about how much she has to cover. Right? How is that working out with your gauge? Stress knitting for me would mean probably really tight gauge and lots of mistakes. Though if you're just knitting stockinette socks in the round, that's not going to be a lot of room for mistakes. I saw you were using interesting striped yarn, so that keeps it from being boring socks of boringness. So, guys, unless anybody else has any other questions, I'm probably going to call this here. Sorry it's so short, but I didn't want to not show up at all. I don't know where AT is. But in case AT watches this, I got to give her weekly report that, if I would click on the right thing. So the forecast for today here on August 16th in my little corner of the Bay Area, the forecast high is 61. 61. Now it should be warming up soon. It's supposed to hit like 73 later this week. And this is the time of year when it gets warm, right in time for school to start. And then it'll stay nice partway through October. And then the rain comes after Halloween, if the rain comes, drought. And apologize for the bangs in my face. I got my hair cut. And I can't make it do what the hairdresser did. So as Tara goes outside to melt because it's so hot where she is, sorry. I think I'm going to call it unless anybody, oh gosh, mid-90s and humid on Long Island. Yikes. 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 That's crazy. Probably not drinking a lot of hot coffee, huh? So guys, I know it's short, but I'm gonna call it for this time, and this time I'll have a little bit more, but almost half an hour for one person is pretty good, considering we usually do an hour with two of us. Yeah, drinking your iced coffee, Cricket. I'll bet I drink an iced coffee pretty much every afternoon. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for putting up with my less than stellar picture quality and less than stellar babbling. And I hope you guys have a great week. I really wonder where AT is. She's usually here. Hopefully she's not sick. But anyhow, happy crafting. And I will see you guys soon. Catch you later. Bye.